Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hopefully, you're having a great day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making money or if you need help making more money, this is the channel for you. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up for this content, and leave comments below if you guys have questions or you want to see certain things. Today, I'm going to kind of step through you what the process is if I'm going to put on a quote trade. So you're gonna see my thought process. This is technical analysis only. There's no fundamental analysis, but I will tell you that I only go into sectors that have a tailwind, that are cheap, and that everything's aligned for. So it's not like I'm just randomly choosing companies because of the technicals of the company. I'm choosing everything that's in alignment completely. Because I know some of you guys, you're like, well, if I were to put an option on or something like that, and I'm not going to go into options because I don't know if a lot of you guys are ready for that. You're going to have a lot of technical analysis background. You're going to have to be very disciplined. You're going to have a strategy of an approach. You're not going to be betting big all in one shot. Usually you want to, if you're taking asymmetric bets, and that's basically what options are, is asymmetric bets. But what I'm going to show you is an approach, and you can use this with stocks as well. You guys can do whatever you want with it, but this is, again, financial education, and I'm going to show you the approach. So this is what I look for. I call this digging deeper. So let's dig deep and let's see what my approach would be. So I'm looking at WWR, and this is real time. This is not something that happened in the past. We can look at this chart right here. This is a 1 year look at the chart. We have a lead in, we've got big volume, and then we've got something like a cup. It's a cup forming right here. Now, this cup has a lot of volume on the right-hand side down here. So this coming up has a lot of volume. And if you notice, all of the days in here, we've got big up days and then the small pullbacks. Big up days, smaller pullback. I'm looking for that. And I think this is carving out a handle right now. And that's what I'm guessing. Now, if you were to take the distance of this cup, which is about right here or right here, and you put it on top of the cup here, the projected move is off this chart, way up there. So this move could be substantial to the upside. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for volume to show that we've got a nice big push to the upside. And I'm looking for power. Here's the volume. Here's the power. This went from $1.50 all the way to $14 in 6 days. This thing is absolutely powerful. It came back down. You can see this is a very nice looking chart. You can see the big down days and the contraction in the candlesticks right through here. See how it contracts the body of the candlesticks? Contracts down, looks very good. Big move higher than the contraction and leak out. This looks great to enter the stock in this dead period right here at the bottom of this cup. But we've got nice big volume coming up. We hit our head on this, and I think we're putting in a handle. So let's zoom in here. So I'm going to continue to zoom in. And this is what I see when I zoom in on that handle. Notice how we've got nice big moves higher. The volume is nice and big. And then the slow leak out of sellers. And this right here is a signature trait of how markets fall, this pattern right here. You have a nice big candlesticks up, the slow leak out, it hugs the top side of the rail, comes back down, goes back up to the top side. It even does this little downward move on all of these, we'll call it even on larger and smaller scales, if you look at this stuff all the time. We have a break to the upside. We've got bigger volume on the break, and we have bigger candlesticks. See that? And then we've got a slow, small sell-off with the candlestick bodies very small. And then we see the nice big punch up, and even though it came back, it's a smaller, nice controlled move. I think this looks good to enter right in here. The breakout, the kind of the back test, so to speak, and then we're coming sideways. And then on a daily chart, we can look at this. Look at the volume here. Nice big move higher. Big candlesticks. And then the slow leak out of sellers. Big move higher here. We came back. And then the dead period. But this is looking pretty good, I think. WWR. So that looks good. Now I'm going to show you some more. FSM looks pretty good as well. This could be a nice big cup forming, and then maybe the handle's right here. Or this could be a cup here, and then another handle. Either way, it's like a cup within a cup and handle within a cup and handle. We've got lots of volume on this side over here. Look how much volume there is. That looks good. Let's zoom in. That's a 5-year chart. We zoom in. Look what we have here on the weekly chart. We're coming down. Boom, punches out, retest. Happened Friday. What do you think I did here? You buy the retest. So this one's looking pretty good. FSM, right here is where I liked it, $7.60. So if I would put a trade on at 760. Now if you look at the daily, nice big volume coming up. And then we've got a nice little pullback. Look at the candlestick body lengths. Big candlesticks coming up. See that? And then the pullbacks are muted, or they're just small little pullbacks. This is a bearish engulfing, so it's going to come back a little bit, and all it could muster was right here. And then going into the close, this is important because this momentum coming into the next trading session, we've got the volume kick up, and we've got a nice big move higher going into close. I think this is probably going to continue to the upside. This is FSM. That would be my guess. Now, EXK, the last one here. Again, we've got this nice big cup handle, or you could do the cup here, and then we've got a little handle forming. The volume's kicked up on the right-hand side here, all this volume. So that's looking good from a 5-year perspective. Zooming in, this is a 1 week. We're going up and down, kind of coming through. And look at this. We just absolutely explode higher. We go to pull back, and then we have a nice big move up. That's changing. This is a big candlestick day on big volume, like we're going to push this thing through. We're hugging the top rail. Typically, when you hug the top rail, it wants to break to the upside. It goes to pull back. Market close, boom, shooting higher. I think this thing's going to break to the upside. It's looking fantastic. And on a daily basis, when you look at it, you've got a nice big hammer to start the day, shoots on higher, big up days, small pullback, coming down, big launch higher with the volume at the end of the day, jumping on up. Like this thing's going to lurch into the next trading session. So that's what I look at. If you notice my approach, I'm looking at it from a big picture view. I'm looking for a chart pattern, something that's about to develop or form. Then I dig in, I look at a weekly chart and say, whoa, this is breaking on a weekly chart. Then I look at the daily chart, and if the daily chart's about to break to the upside, we have alignment on all time frames. And that's what I look for, is that alignment on all time frames. If I'm going to do an option, if I'm going to do a trade, and remember, I'm not a trader. I don't trade in and out with the majority of my money. This is very small amounts of money if I'm going to do it. And when I do it, I'm going to put high leverage and high reward on it. It better be a very large asymmetric bet for me to take the bet. I'm not going to just try to throw something on to throw it on. I need all the alignment. I'm going to put the money where it needs to be, and I want to see that push. So I go from big picture and just keep diving in. Now, with the alignment like this, when you can have a big chart pattern aligning with the weekly, aligning with the daily, these things can move quite substantial. And when everything's aligned, I still take calculated bets. I don't just put a bunch of money in it and hope and pray. I put, let's say I have $1,000 or $2,000 that I'm gonna play with. I have a couple of these plays. I may put $200 in each, because if I'm wiped out in one of them, no big deal. Or even in a couple, I could get wiped out in 3 or 4 completely. And if I have 2 or 3 hit it, the returns can be many hundreds of percents. I've even had 600-700% returns, or 1,000%, and they can happen very quick. They can happen in a week or two. It all depends, or it can happen in a couple months. So it depends on the setup. The companies that I see set up very well right now. TGB looks like it's breaking out of a very big pattern. TMQ is starting to move, and these right here look very good. Some of these silver companies look very good. So if something were to happen, if this thing breaks, if it really moves, I'm going to try to capture some of those gains. If you guys like this content, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave comments if you guys have questions, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.